Governor Ben Ayade calls for establishment of COVID-19 vaccine production plants in Nigeria. Federal Roads Maintenance Agency reiterates commitment to provision of smooth roads and reduction of road fatalities. Plus, United Nations campaigns for sustainable use of natural resources to mitigate climate change. Details of this and more presently. Good evening. This is NTA Calabar News at 7. I am Maureen Ajom. Now the news in full. The Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade is calling on the federal government to set up a COVID-19 vaccine production plant as a long-term plan for the country to effectively tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. Paul Abel tells us more.
With plans for Nigeria to purchase COVID-19 vaccines worth over 400 billion naira, Governor Ben Ayade is advising the Presidential Task Force to be cautious in the procurement process.
As a nation, I think that we should be very cautious with the choice. There are different types of vaccines. There are some of them that are using attenuated vaccines. So if it's attenuated, it means you have attenuated their life forms. So you need to store them in that deactivated form and sometimes at minus 80 degrees.
Recently, the Minister of Health announced that 2 laboratories in Nigeria have come up with vaccines to undergo clinical tests, and Governor Ben Ayade believes that this is an avenue for the federal government to invest in the production of vaccines.
We can also start investing heavily in vaccine production. We have the capacity, we have the competence, we have the educated professors of virology, we have vaccinologists, we have a team that can do this. To set up a vaccine production plant is just $51 million.
For the country to produce our own vaccines, well-meaning Nigerians will need to support the initiative to make it a reality. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And to enhance the fight against COVID-19 at the University of Calabar, the Cross River State Ministry of Health is donating personal protective equipment and other items to the institution as it settles in for academic activities. The donation was made when the Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Florence Obi, visited the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Betta Edu. Justina Etten tells us more.
The University of Calabar comprises a student population of 250,000 who come from all walks of life, including COVID-19 high-risk countries and states of the Federation, to acquire knowledge. As the University of Calabar resumes for a new academic session, the University Authority is worried that it may not be able to single-handedly curb the spread of the pandemic in the school, and this is the reason for this visit of the Vice-Chancellor to the Cross River State Commissioner for Health.
We are importantly carrying out a very robust sensitization and awareness exercise among our students and staff on the use of face masks, hand washing, and use of sanitizers.
Cross River State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Betta Edu, is impressed with proactive steps taken so far by the authority to prevent the spread of the disease in the school community, and assures the provision of rapid diagnostic test kits as well as the deployment of quick response team to facilitate the fight against COVID-19 in the school.
We're happy that University of Calabar has been very, very proactive. They were able to set up this committee, and the state government is working hand in hand with them to see that we do not have any outbreak of COVID-19 in the university, and we do not have the school shut down as a result of people having so many cases of COVID-19 within that environment.
Personal protective equipment and other items were donated to the university, while the commissioner, in company of the Vice-Chancellor and her entourage, inspected facilities on ground to curtail spread of pandemic in the citadel of learning. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
The federal government has taken steps to strengthen the COVID-19 response system across the country. The recent is a law signed by President Muhammadu Buhari prescribing a 6-month jail term for those flouting COVID-19 safety protocols put in place by health authorities to curb the spread of the virus. Oduak Etem reports that the move by the president has not only generated reactions from Nigerians in Cross River State, but is checking activities of Nigerians as regards the spread of the pandemic.
Recently released cases of the COVID-19 updates by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control have become alarming as the second wave of the virus continues. The federal government since 2020 has taken numerous measures to cushion the impact of the pandemic and also curb the spread of the virus. However, some of the policy responses may have not been taken seriously by some Nigerians, and this probably made President Muhammadu Buhari to sign a law prescribing a 6-month jail term for those violating COVID-19 protocols. The law provides for the maintenance of social distancing, compulsory wearing of face masks, and strict adherence to other protocols. Either way, Nigerians in Calabar react differently on the law and the penalty involved.
Any society that is without law or rule or regulation, people are bound to be careless because there are no measures to check them, And so, health is wealth and is very important. And so the duty of the president and the government is to protect lives and property. And so whatever rule or regulation that will ensure that lives are protected, I think is in order.
Let me start, use myself an example. As you can see, I put on my face mask properly. So as a Nigerian, as a good citizen, you must observe the necessary protocol, all the guidelines that are necessary for us to survive as a country.
I don't see it as a witch hunt. I see it as it's something we have to do, even though we are not even told, even without the punishment, it's something we are supposed to do, because if we get infected, it's our problem, not his. So he has actually done very well. Muhammadu Buhari have done pretty well.
For the Cross River State government, the COVID-19 monitoring team is at work to ensure residents of the state adhere strictly to the safety protocols.
Tax team made up of CAN that goes around on Sundays to ensure that churches are enforcing the use of face masks in public places. We have a tax team that is in charge of the Islamic religious group, and they go around to enforce this too. So really, as much as possible, we have different sub-teams that are going around doing that work.
Health experts and well-meaning individuals are advising Nigerians to comply with the safety measures, as the law is not to witch hunt citizens, but it is established as a way of getting the people to stay safe and live healthy lives. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has updated 1,056 new cases of COVID-19. The figures are Lagos 214, Ocean 120, FCT 116, Plateau 88, Ebonyi 75, Akwa Ibom 38, Edo 25, Oyo 23, Kano 22, Delta 19, Katsina 18, Borno 16, Nasarawa 13, Ekiti and Ogun 8 each. A total of 115,755 cases have been discharged, with 1,694 deaths recorded so far. You are still watching NTA Calabar News at 7. Still to come, Federal Roads Maintenance Agency reiterates commitment to provision of good roads and reduction of road fatalities just after the break.
Una no vex. Una never hear of coronavirus. Prevention is better pass cure. See this thing. Hand sanitizer. Now one way to take prevent coronavirus with that. See, another one we say we go wash our hands clean with soap and with water. Another one we say when we want sneeze, we want cough. Oh yeah, may we dab together. Correct people. If you see say you get symptom of fever or difficulty in breathing, abeg make you dey your day, make you sit down. Nigeria, our culture dey promote cleanliness. Let the celebration continue.
This message is from NTA and NCAC.
Members of the public with any complaint concerning any of our programs should forward their complaints to the Nigerian Television Authority, Channel 9 Murtala Mohammed Iwi Calabar. Phone numbers 0906 198 3183, 0906 883 6550. Email address ntacalabar@nca.gov.ng or to the National Broadcasting Commission NBC, plus 32 Parliamentary Housing Estate, Second Gate behind Zanzibar Hotel, Calabar. Telephone number 0818 445 9924. Email address nbccalabar@yahoo.com. Signed, Management of the National Broadcasting Commission.
The President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration has continuously thrown its weight to ensure that poorly maintained roads in Nigeria, often cited as causes for the country's high rates of road fatalities, are given adequate attention. To walk the talk, the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency FEMA Southeast Zone 2 says it will not rest on its oars to ensure that all critical failed portions of roads within the zone are efficiently and effectively monitored to keep it in good and safe conditions. Ode Alenyo tells us more.
From the length and breadth of Cross River State and environs, federal roads have been rehabilitated by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA. Some of the roads inspected include Calabar Akankpa Ugeb Abomege, which connects to Ebonyi State, Ikom Wula Obudu Road, and Ikom Ogoja Road, which stretched for over 42 kilometers. Visibly elected natives and residents of some of the communities who are beneficiaries of the roads maintenance are appreciative of the work done.
It will also help to expand the economy of this very community.
What they are doing good things that will help us.
I believe with this, God have answered our prayer.
We're very happy because it has been hectic for us, especially during the rainy season.
Zonal Director FEMA Southeast Zone 2, Celestine Okun, is satisfied with the level of work carried out by the contractors.
We have covered 42 kilometers from the Calabar Senatorial District to Northern Senatorial District of Cross River State. The contractors has performed very well, and each of these projects, we have FEMA resident engineers supervising them, and they follow the specification of the contracts.
As work is ongoing in some communities in Cross River State, some residents of benefiting communities promise to reciprocate the gesture of President Muhammadu Buhari to ensure that the roads impact positively on their lives, livelihood, and the national economy.
The people are appreciative of what federal government is doing on this road by patching all the potholes here. They said most of the hoodlums use these points to rob people at night and at odd hours. From Ikom local government area, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
Several United Nations coordinated international conventions are hinged on protecting, preserving, and perpetuating nature and biodiversity for continued human survival. A future fusion of food, nature, and biodiversity is an integral part of campaigns for a sustainable use of natural resources to mitigate climate change. Onengie Fine Face has more.
Pulling down trees is a necessary step required to commence farming on a piece of virgin land. But this action comes with dire consequence on the environment. A balance in food production that is done in harmony with nature and animal welfare is the focus of global advocacy on sustainable food systems. United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, and Chatham House in a study found out that food systems are drivers of biodiversity loss, climate change, and ecological disruptions.
Recognizing the fundamental relationship between the health of animals, plants, people, and the environment. The approach is critical for achieving the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
In this age of pandemic, climate and biodiversity emergency, The United Nations warns that salts could be useless in 60 years if food production continues without consideration for the environment.
Unless we accelerate food systems reform, emerging zoonotic diseases are going to continue to be a reality. But by taking a transformative approach, we're not only decreasing the risk of future pandemics, we can also increase resilience.
The solution UNEP suggests involves regenerative farming to grow the right food in the right amount for our people empowered to eat healthy and sustainably.
To move toward a global agreement to end factory farming, to reset our food system, to regenerative, restorative ways of producing food.
Farming nature responsibly will replace chemicals, pesticides and fertilizer with natural nutrients, increase forest covers, replenish oxygen and take carbon out of the atmosphere. Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
And moving ahead, congestion in Nigeria's correctional centers will soon be a thing of the past, as the 3,000 capacity maximum custodial center in Kashi, Abuja, nears completion. Acting Comptroller General of Corrections John Nrabure gave the indication after an inspection tour of facilities. Victor Azu tells us more.
What is your name?
For so long, overcrowding in Nigeria's custodial centers has been a major sore spot in the country's criminal justice system, prompting efforts by the federal government to address the challenge. One of such efforts is the construction of a 3,000 capacity maximum custodial centers in all 6 geopolitical zones of the country. This one in Abuja, north central Nigeria, is at 70% completion. And Acting Comptroller General of Corrections, John Nrabure, promises to keep up the pace of his predecessor and deliver the project within the year.
What I'm seeing here, I'm very sure that by the end of this year, this place will have been completed. Inadequate space for training of inmates in order for reformation was enshrined in the new act to become a thing of the past. At the same time, while they are training, they have this religious morals will be impacted into them so that they become useful citizens on discharge from this center.
The project, which began in 2019, is expected to host a court, 3 security custodies, a hospital, residential quarters and recreational facilities, among others, aimed at reformation of inmates. In Abuja, Victor Azu.
A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to unfreeze the bank accounts of 20 individuals and corporate entities linked to protesters and promoters of NSAS and police brutality. Justice Ahmed Mohammed gave the order following the withdrawal of a suit instituted against them by Central Bank of Nigeria through its counsel, Mr. Michael Anduka San. With an agreement by the parties to amicably resolve the matter and the withdrawal of all processes in the same, the court had on November 4, 2020 granted the CBN's prayer to freeze the said accounts for 90 days pending investigation into the owner's links to terrorism. Let's now join Sports Desk for our sports updates.
Many thanks for joining us on Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye. Let's begin with football. After a month break, the Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership is back with 7 matches ongoing at different centers across the country. In Lokoja, Confluence Queens host FC Robo Queens. Edo Queens are at home to Nasarawa Amazons with Pelican Stars and Royal Queens FC trading tackles. Similarly, after a series of postponements, the Nigeria National League is finally set to commence its 2020-2021 season this weekend. At a press conference in Abuja Wednesday, Chief Operating Officer of the league, Emmanuel Adesonya, announced that all matches will be played in accordance with the COVID-19 safety protocols.
At every match venue, COVID-19 protocols must be observed. I want to assure you that promptly league tables will be published every week.
To golf now, all is now set for the maiden golf success Nigeria, which tees off at the TYB International Golf Resort and Country Club, Abuja, this Saturday. Addressing the media in Abuja Wednesday, chief organizer of the tournament, Ekanem Ekweme, revealed that a total of 64 senior amateur golfers will compete in the two-day tournament.
This is the first time it's going to happen in Nigeria, and this event is strictly for 55 and over.
And finally to tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic's bid for a third consecutive Australian Open crown faced his first major test as it took the Serb 3 hours 30 minutes to overcome American Frances Tiafoe. Home favourite Nick Kyrgios also won in 5 sets, with Stan Wawrinka stunned. In the women's draw, the quartet of 7-time champion Serena Williams, 2019 champion Naomi Osaka, 2018 finalist Simona Halep, and 2020 finalist Gabriela Muguruza have all advanced to the third round. And that wraps it up on Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye.
And that's about the size of a package, but before we go, a quick recap of our major stories. The state governor Ben Ayade is calling on the federal government to set up a COVID-19 vaccine production plant as a long-term plan to tackle COVID-19 in the country. The Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA South East Zone 2, has reiterated commitment to reduce road fatalities through good road maintenance. Also in the news, United Nations is advocating sustainable use of natural resources to mitigate climate change. Many thanks for watching. We hope you do enjoy our packages and enjoy you as well to enjoy the rest of our programs. Good night.